Fellas, how are we doing? I'm Chuck Silver. I'm here with Occupy Fantasy to talk about NFL Preseason Week 1. Today is Saturday, August 9th. We got a six-gamer. Nice mix-up from the three gamers we've had. I know we have a late slate, and then we have a pretty decent showdown between Denver and San Francisco at the end of the night. We're going to start with quarterbacks today. We have two low-risk quarterbacks that we're really looking at, and they are Stetson Bennett and Joe Milton. They're both playing in the same game. These are the two guys that we have confidence in that are going to play the most at the position today. And in preseason, as most of you should know, we're really just looking for guys that are going to be on the field. If you're on the field, you have an opportunity to score fantasy points. And so I put Bennett in the dummy build because I think it's a little bit easier to pair him with some of his pass catchers. So I have Whittington in here. Now, he is one of the top plays if he's confirmed starting. Regardless of if he's in or not, we're also going to be looking at Kanata Mumfield and Britton Covey, two guys who have gotten praise from McVay in practice. If we're looking at tight end, Davis Allen's going to be one of our top tight end plays today. Tight end is one of the toughest positions of the day. We don't really have that much confidence that anyone is going to dominate the playing time. I mean, we saw 50% owned Harold Fannin yesterday put up 0 fantasy points. So I would say tight end is one of the positions you probably want to spread out tonight, unless maybe we get a coach's comment pregame that indicates one of these guys is going to play a lot more than the others. Beyond Davis Allen, I'm kind of interested in Anthony Torres as well. Just a guy who's gotten some praise out of practice, and I want to consider him in some high-risk contests. Let's say we go with Joe Milton as our low-risk quarterback for tonight. It's a little bit more difficult to pair him with his pass catchers, but the guys that have stood out in practice, this guy right here, Trayshawn Holden. He's had a connection with Joe Milton in practice, so he's going to be one of the guys I'm most interested in pairing with him. And then Josh Kelly's another guy who's gotten some buzz as well. Other guys we can consider: Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Brooks, Ryan Flournoy, and Jalen Cropper. All of these guys should get playing time, rotate in and out with Milton. I'm going to personally lean towards the lower end of these guys that are at the bottom here if I go that route. But like I said, I think I prefer Stetson in my dummy just because it's a little bit easier to pick out which receivers to pair him with. A couple other quarterbacks that we can consider for high risk. Now, San Francisco, it depends if Mac Jones is playing. If Mac Jones is playing, we're probably not going to be interested in anything here on DraftKings. I'm not sure why Carter Bradley isn't in the player pool. It's kind of weird. But Tanner Mordecai was cut last week. He just got re-signed. He's not completely new to the program. He could see some snaps, but I think we're kind of expecting Carter Bradley to see the bulk of the work here. So not sure we're looking at anything on San Francisco on DraftKings. For Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield is not going to play. Kyle Trask should get the first quarter. After that, we're kind of expecting this guy Connor Bazelak to play the rest of the game. And if we're going that route for high risk, there's a couple wide receiver options we can pair him with. The guys we're most interested in are Raheem Jarrett, Dennis Houston, Garrett Green. Our three preferences for pairing with Bazelak. We're not sure if Emeka Egbuka plays. If he does, it would just be in that first quarter with Trask. We could take some high-risk shots. Kind of like, we saw Jamar Chase put up that 15 fantasy point whatever in just 2 series. And so could Egbuka do that? Sure. But we're still going to lean towards the guys that are going to be on the field for more of the game. I'm going to give you 2 more high-risk quarterbacks. We're looking at Clayton Tune on Arizona. Not as excited about him, but I wanted to throw him out there. Kyler Murray is expected to play 1 or 2 series, and then Jacoby Brissett is a vet. Maybe he finishes up the half, and then Clayton Tune gets the entire second half, which would not be bad for him. Consider that more on the late slate when the quarterback pool is a little bit thinner. And last guy I want to mention here, and consider this especially for the showdown, is Sam Ehlinger. So Bo Nix is expected to play a couple series with the starters today. Then we're going to get Jared Stidham for a little bit, and Sam Ehlinger is going to close out the game. Now, I don't know that I'm going to get to him on the main slate, but for the showdown, I think this is the quarterback I'm most interested in here, if not just Bo Nix. But a couple of the receivers that we could pair Ehlinger with that I'm very interested in based on what I've heard out of practice. Jerwan Newton, Courtney Jackson. what do you got? Joaquin Davis and Kyrie's Rowan. So bottom of the roster guys, if we want to go with, that Bo Nix, hopefully he throws a touchdown, even rushes in a touchdown in the few snaps he's going to play. These are going to be his 3 starting receivers, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, and Devon Vele. So we can look at them, maybe consider Troy Franklin. They also have the rookie Pat Bryant here. Moving on to running back, we have one clear top running back today, and that's Phil Maffa on Dallas. Dallas is shorthanded. Jaden Blue is not. I don't want to say he's definitely not going to play, but he got hurt in practice the other day, so I'd be really surprised if he played at all tonight. And Deuce Vaughn just returned from a hamstring injury. He did go through team drills on Friday, so I guess it wouldn't be that surprising to see him play. But Maffa is a guy that we're expecting to get the bulk of the work, and he's the running back who we are projecting the most snaps for today. So that's going to be our top running back play. We have a few other running backs we're looking at. Tampa Bay is a little bit short-handed. Bucky Irving and Rashad White are not going to play, and we don't even have their guys on here. Oh, we do. Yeah, Owen Wright is the guy that's not in the DraftKings player pool. I believe he is on FanDuel, so we can consider him over there. But Sean Tucker is the running back that we have for Tampa Bay on DraftKings today, and he's the running back 3 on this roster. I guess there could be a risk that he gets pulled a little bit earlier than we'd like, and a lot of the work would go to Owen Wright, but they're so short-handed. I kind of think he just has to play snaps. So Sean Tucker is going to be another one of our top running back plays over on DraftKings, and then he's not here, but Owen Wright over on FanDuel, consider him there too. Let's take a look at this first game, Jacksonville. We have 2 guys we're pretty interested in here, in LaQuint Jackson and Bajal Tootin. LaQuint Allen, excuse me. But these are the 2 guys we're looking to get the most snaps here. Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby will probably play a series or 2 with the starters, and Tootin and LaQuint Allen should finish out the game. So 2 of our other high-risk running back plays. On the Rams, we're looking at Hunter. Blake Corum is going to be active as well, but I think that the Occupy staff is leaning towards Hunter as the guy we're more interested in here. Green Bay, we're looking at a couple guys now. They're going to be missing Marshawn Lloyd and Emmanuel Wilson tonight. Josh Jacobs probably gets 1 series. So we're going to be looking at Chris Brooks as our main target here, but I want to throw out Izzy Abanaconda as well. I don't know. I think that he's the high-risk guy here. Chris Brooks could be considered the low-risk guy, but I think we want to mix them both in if you're making a large set of lineups. And then for San Francisco, let's take a look at San Francisco. Patrick Taylor, not sure if he's playing today. So CMC. Isaac Guerrero is hurt right now, and Patrick Taylor seems like they're running back 3. Now, he's going to play a little bit, I would think. I just don't know if he gets all that run. They can't really afford to lose another running back. And so for those reasons, the guy I'm most interested in here, Corey Kiner. Amir Abdullah, I guess, is also not in the DraftKings player pool. He just signed last week. I guess I didn't double check if he's on FanDuel. If he is available on FanDuel, Abdullah is in consideration, but he's a little bit older, and I think Kiner is the guy with the most playing time upside. So Corey Kiner is going to be our running back shot from San Francisco. Great showdown play as well. A couple of our top receivers we already talked about, but let's talk about the San Francisco receivers. So we know that they're kind of hurt at the top end, not that those guys would play anyway. Jacob Cowing is out. St. Brown is on the IR. And so we're really only looking at a handful of guys here. Now, they tend to give some snaps to a veteran in the preseason. This year, that would be Russell Gage. So we like him as one of our top plays. We're looking at Jordan Watkins, though, as our top wide receiver play from San Francisco. One of our top low-risk plays overall. Other guy in that, in this top group of receivers from here, I would consider is Junior Bergen. All those guys are going to be great for Showdown as well. And then on the very back end, for the Showdown, we can look at Isaiah Hodgins. Other top wide receiver play, Jalen Royals here. Let's go to KC. So the vet should play a series. they always talk about they're going to play a whole quarter. They never do. And so Jalen Royals is the guy that stood out in practice. Tyquan Thornton is another guy that's been talked about. And then Jason Brownlee, the last guy that's we've gotten word that he's stepped up a little bit in practice. So those are going to be our primary targets from the Kansas City. And then lastly, I just want to mention some Tennessee guys. We're looking at the rookies, Alec Iomanor, and we're going to go with Kamari DK as our second option here. The starters are expected to play 1 to 2 series, so Cam Ward will get a couple series with these guys. These guys are all kind of old, but Iomanor, DK, and we're also considering Xavier Restrepo as a high-risk wide receiver play there. I mentioned tight end is tough, so there's not that many options that we're really going to be looking at today. I didn't even have one to put in the dummy here. The top play that we have as of now is Luke Schumacher. I'd like confirmation that he's playing, though, because they have another tight end on the roster, and that is going to be John Stevens Jr. Yeah, he's been a preseason performer before, and I mean, even if Schumacher starts, I imagine Stevens is going to get some work, so that's going to be one of the top tight end plays we're looking at. I already mentioned the Rams guys and Davis Allen and Torres. And I want to mention a guy on Pittsburgh, JJ Galbraith. Don't know much about him, but he could get the second half. We're not really looking for Jonnu and Pat Freiermuth to play today. So it should be good. Yeah, so Darnell Washington and Connor Hayward should get the work with the starting group. And after that, it could just be JJ Galbraith the rest of the way. He wasn't a great producer in college, but again, he's going to be on the field. If he gives us a few fantasy points, it's going to be great. Any touchdown at the tight end position is probably going to be the nuts tonight. If there's anyone else. We can consider James Wiley on Kansas City as well. So I mentioned that they're likely to play 1 to 2 series. That'll be Travis Kelce and Noah Gray. As long as James Wiley, Jared Wiley? James Wiley. All right, well, hold off on that one. We'll have to see what his status is. I guess he just missed practice last week. And I'll throw out one more for high risk if we want to go that Tampa Bay route. We have Tanner Taula as a high risk tight end. Now for defense, we can just round out the lineup. My favorite defenses tonight are not 49ers. It's actually going to be Denver. Broncos. Our other two top defenses are Tennessee and Green Bay. And then a couple high risk shots are Dallas and Jacksonville. But I really think you want to just mix up the defenses. Defensive touchdown is more than enough to win on these preseason slates. So hopefully this gives you a good basis for your low risk lineup. Maybe you want to switch up one of these receivers. Get Davis Allen in there as our running back. But yeah, Stetson Bennett, Joe Milton, and Phil Maffa, top plays of the day. Beyond that, mix it up a little bit. Hop into Discord. We will have news up until lock. And good luck tonight, fellas. Appreciate you guys tuning in.